everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Blunders and Bothwellians, the Wounded Witch edition. This is the Tuesday party. Somewhere out there, an NPC needs aid. Carnal Eclipse, as they are known, going their way through the world. They are currently in the magical, enchanted, some would say island, others would say completely other realm of existence, which is known as World's Edge. They found themselves there, inhabited. The place is by fantastic creatures, all sort of fey in nature, most friendly, some not so friendly. They have disposed of the slightly non-friendly one. They also found the shard they were looking for in a shipwreck. They then made their way back onto the beaches, made friends with some small fluffy animals, one of which called Leslie and one of which called Tacco. They then retired back to Arissa's mansion, the Arissa, for the evening, and were awoken the next day by screams and chaos outside. They ran out and ended up having to fight against their one-time ally, Brakens, the demon prince. He was there with 4 of his other demon prince brothers, one of whom held his lover Tiavat captive. They worked out eventually that Brakens was being forced to act against his will, and so all the demons were fighting against the party, Brakens being forced alongside with them. However, the Theratas, with a very excellent perception check, realised what was going on, and they all changed tack and managed to attack the demon princes along with Brakens, saving Tiavat and managing to completely destroy the 4 princes. However, Brakens and Tiavat took a great deal of damage, very nearly dying themselves, and so they all came back to Arissa's... the Arissa, there we go, and took some respite for the evening. Varric still does not like Brakens very much, pushed his luck a little bit, got very angry and perturbed at the demon who pinned him against the wall with a flaming hand, but then they all went to bed, and it's all lovely. And we're going to pick up the next morning.
Was still under construction back then.
Hello.
Yep.
I love it. I come in. We're still under construction back then. All right, there we go.
It was our airship.
Ah, yes. I have been writing notes about your airship this week, actually.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, it's burnt in a fight. No, I'm kidding. It's not. I'm not that mean. But it is pretty nearly finished. So I'm going to pick up with you guys the following morning after you've all had some rest and respite and food. Yes, Varric, food. You've done some spas and things. Arissa, if you did pack your dice and therefore don't have them, there are online dice rollers, or if you want, you can just pick random numbers between 1 and 30, and we'll see how we go.
Sounds quite fun.
Just like, you know what? I want a crit fail tonight. I got a 3. Arissa, you have a +5. Nope, I got a 3.
That honestly sounds quite fun.
There you go. Well, on a system, we're not in combat at the moment. I'll let you decide.
I'll just go, what would be funniest?
What would be funniest at this moment in time? 27! When Ragnar fails a will save, kaboom. Now that's not fair with Theratas, because it happened to you as well.
Yes, but that wasn't this kaboom. That was more of the hammer kaboom.
So, hammer time. So yeah, you guys have had respite and had a peaceful evening. Varric, you have looked over your loot, meaning the stuff you got from the bodies. You haven't suddenly picked up a musical instrument. That got confusing. So yeah, you all sleep through, and in the morning you awake. There are no screams, no sounding, anything like that. It's all perfectly peaceful and fine. If you try them on, Varric, then yeah, you'd probably find out what they do. You could ask someone who's magical to check them over if you wanted.
I definitely have one swung between the wings, basically.
Okay.
So that I can use it with my wings.
Okay. Cool. You put the cloak on. It seems to adjust to fit to the size of your shoulders and fit just around the curve of where your wings arch. And when you think about it and how impressive it is, it suddenly Superman's out behind you for a moment and flutters and then comes back, resting at your ankles. Whoa, your brain thinks.
I've got the power.
I'm sorry, Andrew. Could you read that out? Because that's a beautiful comment that the internet does not need to miss.
Wings and a billowing cloak? Has Varric hit peak anime protagonist? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
I mean, Yep, or antagonist. One of the two. I feel like it's protagonist who's got tempted to the dark side for a whole season and a half, and now everyone's begging him to come back to the light, and he will do, but he'll keep the wings, but the cloak will turn white.
But it's fiery now.
Yes, it is a fiery cloak. It's all dark reds and black. It's got like little flames down the bottom. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's proof that Varric now is a demon slayer. Cue epic Hercules poses.
So yeah, Varric, you can get people to look over the stuff if you want who have like more magic than you. They could do an arcana check on them and they'd be able to tell you exactly what they do if you wanted.
I definitely want that, and I know specifically who he's gonna ask.
Alright.
Is it like right now?
Sure, I mean it's the morning, you can
Okay. In that case, Varric will like march up, wearing one of the cloaks, thinking about how cool it is, so that it keeps billowing.
It just billows and billows. Bearing in mind that you can do this every bonus action, which is once per round, which is like 6 seconds. So every 10 seconds or so, your cloak just like ripples in the air behind you.
Billow? Like, once I use it, is that like a second?
I would say it would billow for a few seconds, maybe 3, because it's a bonus action, so it would like roll over until the next person's turn. So fuck it, 3 seconds of billowing. There you go.
Nice. So he'd be walking in and the cloak billows a bit, then falls down, then billows a bit, then falls down.
Like a Britney Spears video, with wind. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, who are you going to go and ask, Varric?
I'm gonna walk to the duck.
What? Ragnar's gonna be like, that's an awfully nice looking cloak you've got there.
Yep, I may have found it on a demon corpse. Hey, could you take a look at it, see that it's not evil or slowly murdering me or something?
I can certainly try.
Yeah, we've all learned that lesson from Indy the hard way.
Ooh, so it's just straight Arcana check? Or...
Yep.
Okay, so that is a natural 20.
Hey!
Which is a good thing considering I have +0.
Varric, are you showing him all of the stuff you found or just the cloaks?
I'm showing him the cloak, the ingredients, the quill, and probably not the gem.
Okay, noted. Alright. Ragnar, quacky quack. You notice, yep, these are cloaks of billowing. They have been touched by evil. They've definitely been worn by evil creatures. You can sense it, even though you know, having definitely 100% been there for the fight.
Yes.
You were surrounded by animals and creatures and Tacco and everyone, and they were all just, like, crowding around you, wishing for safety. So you and Arissa were there, like, ushering them away, like, come on, it's gonna be fine. So that was what was going. Yeah, the cloaks are billowing. They have been worn by evil creatures, but they don't seem to have any evil properties themselves. They should be perfectly fine to wear, which is good, seeing as Varric is already wearing one. But yeah, they're absolutely fine. The ingredients look like the ingredients for something. It looks like they've all been specifically measured out in exact amounts, but without doing another very more in-depth check, you couldn't tell what for. And the red quill, I have notes for somewhere, because you've got a natural 20. Okay. This is a... I want to change that name. I call it the Quill of Buffing because I was waiting to think of a better name and it just never happened. So it's called the Quill of Buffing for now. From what you can tell about it, if you use it to draw on someone's skin, it will permanently mark them like a tattoo, and it will give them a permanent buff of a +2 to anything of their choice. But it can only be used once per person. So once you've been once you've been tattooed with it, you can't use it again.
That's so cool.
Is that to like skill checks or to like abilities?
It wouldn't be to the individuals. It would be like to dexterity or charisma or whatever. You get a +2 to that.
Oh wow.
That's yeah.
Yes, please.
But yeah, once per person, only once.
Ragnar will relay this information and then to be like, well, these ingredients are clearly measured out, so could just try mixing them all together.
Huh. That's a good idea. However, I'd like to be at a safe distance when I add the last ingredient, I guess.
That's a very good idea. I wonder if there's somewhere safe in the spa where we perhaps create a device that would allow us to just safely put it all in from a distance. Like
Let's ask Arissa.
A ye olde Rube Goldberg machine.
Let's ask Arissa. And what? So you've relayed the information about the cloak, about the quill, and the ingredients. Then I guess.
Yeah.
Well, the ingredients being, we should mix them together. I hope we don't die.
LOL. Let's see what happens.
YOLO.
That sounds like a good idea. In that case, Varric's gonna go, hey, do you wanna come with me when I make this possibly bomb?
Hell yeah, then sure. It'll be fun.
Good, I need someone to hold a shield in front of me as well.
I'm sure this will not go wrong whatsoever.
With that, I'm gonna march over to Arissa. And I'm gonna go, hey, Arissa,
Yes.
this spa that you made suddenly appeared. Does it happen to have a place that's safe for alchemy?
Arissa looks at you, wrinkles her nose, looks constipated for about 20 seconds, and then goes, "There is now."
Thank you. And with that, he's gonna actually make the cloak billow and then walk away.
I love how you haven't handed any of these out yet. You're just keeping the cloak. It's like, yeah, look at me in my bitch ass cloak. No, you can't fucking have one.
I'm currently handing out the first one, actually.
Oh.
Because as he walks away, he's gonna break, turn around on his heels, and he's gonna go, hey, so you like cool things? Here.
That's correct.
And he
Right.
throws one to Arissa. Past Ragnar.
Arissa probably does not see this, and it just falls on.
Ragnar looks slightly heartbroken.
Aww.
With that, I'm gonna give him one as well. And I'm gonna say, but I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Could you try and convince Hannah that I need to get the donut?
I will do my best, Fred.
Thank you. In that case, yeah, of course you can have a fiery cloak as well.
As soon as he gets his cloak of billowing, Ragnar's going to remove his other cloak, which is probably
Totally boring.
It's got some family crest shit on it, but he's just gonna roll it up and keep it with him, probably use it as a blanket, and then put the cloak of billowing on and be like, squad goals.
Now we just need to get enough for everyone! Everyone!
I've given out 2. I have one for myself, so there's 1 left.
There is 1 left. God, it's like you're going past the parcel and it's all really tense. Like, ah! Cool. So yeah, Arissa has made a room for alchemy for you guys. Are you gonna head? Are you gonna head down there? Are you gonna take her with you?
I'm gonna walk off, then say, "Hey, would you mind showing me where it is before I throw these together?" And he holds out the demon ingredients, going like, "Yeah, these. We don't know what they do yet, but we'll find out."
I just read that, sorry. Vitheritas is pondering. Are the 2 people that will crit fail alchemy being left to create an unsupervised disaster? Yes! Yes, they are. So, Arissa, I assume, I think she's BRB'd, Arissa will lead you down into a chamber that is...
Does this happen like over breakfast? Because chances are she just made it and then continued eating her breakfast.
Yes, but he...
Just like, find it yourself. Mister, I decided to draw a card.
Oh.
What you'll notice is that Varric's plate is not empty as he walks away with all of his stuff. There's still food left over on his plate. He walked away going, yeah, I'm not hungry anymore. Let's do adventure.
Oh my god, Varric left breakfast? That's a big one.
He's hungry for adventure.
Alright, so Varric and Ragnar and anyone else who is coming with to the alchemy, could you please do me a... Ooh, what shall I make you do for this? I'm going to call it an intelligence check.
Uh-oh.
No, investigation. There you go, investigation.
Okay. Ooh, that's actually not bad.
Hey! Woo! What did you get, Varric?
19 total.
Okay, so... so between the two of you, after a good... 8 plus 0, 8! Woo! After a good, 40 minutes of just walking around being like, right, that's the bathroom. No, that's the bathroom. No, that's the other bathroom. Wait, how many bathrooms were there earlier? Did she just create an extra one because she didn't want to wait in the queue? All right, and that's the spa. No, the spa's upstairs. So what's that? That's the massage parlour. That's the other massage parlour. Don't want to know what's coming out of that one. It smells funny. Eventually, you find your way to a beautiful engraved doorway, which appears to be brand new. Pushing it open on its big hinge, you peer in. Arissa, did you design it in any way in particular, or are we going for Snape's Dungeon, only more cheerful?
Snape's Dungeon with tinsel.
Excellent. Excellent. So you walk into essentially a potions classroom, long slit windows, lots of candles? What the fuck is a candle? Candles! In brackets along the walls, dangling from the ceiling, a slow drip and bubbling of various different things in cauldrons all around the edges, a big table, basins, items, ingredients, all these sorts of things. And at the far end, there is a large stone dip in the floor with what looks like soundproofing all the way around the edges. And it's a bit like a fighting pit down the bottom with steps going down to it. Which looks as if it's a place that experimental things can be experimented with without damaging the rest of the room. And it's covered in tinsel. The whole thing is just covered in tinsel.
I'm going to turn to Ragnar and I'm going to say, hey, where do you think we should do this?
I think I'm going to leave that decision to you in case it's terribly wrong. So,
Do I have a loose pebble or something?
Yeah, I expect so. Probably, if you look at your shoes, there's probably one in there somewhere.
I'd like to get a pebble and just toss it into the pit and see what happens.
All right. You throw the pebble through the air. Ding, ding, ding. Lands on the stone floor in the middle of the pit. Nothing happens.
We'll try there. Could you go first? Because I'm terrified she'll send me back to the dungeon again.
Okay. Ragnar takes steps forwards to where Varric has designated.
It's the pit. It's the actual bunker looking thing.
Yeah, the hunker bunker. Alright, so you make your way down. There's stone steps. They go sort of in a spiral going down the edge, and you step down, 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 and you get down onto the stone floor. The sides of this big pit, they come up to about your shoulders. So if you really wanted, you could jump down or climb out. We're going down.
That's reassuring.
I'm yelling timber from the chat. Sugar, we're going down. Arissa wins that one.
Yep. That's two very
different vibes. So yeah, you guys get to the bottom. So you can see floor at eye level. So you can see all the way to the dungeon door. I say dungeon, like the potions room, potions laboratory door. You can see the bottom of the tables and chairs and everything. But yeah, you made your way down. Big floor. It seems to be made of like thick, heavy cobblestone and stuff all the way around it. The pit you stand in is probably about 15 feet wide in a rough circle.
I'd like to go to the middle and like where there's the bowl, right? I heard that correct?
Say again?
There's a bowl in the middle, right?
Yeah, there's like a metal bowl sitting on the ground in the middle.
I'm gonna hold out the massive kite shield that Verti lent me, and I'm gonna like hold it in front of me. Then I'm gonna make my wings as tiny as possible, make the cloak billow, and then pour the first ingredient in, and just hide behind the shield. Wait a couple seconds.
Okay, nothing happens.
Ragnar is going to stand on the other side to Varric and like cross his arms and look in the bowl as he starts pouring shit, and he's going to make his cloak billow.
I'm gonna throw in like the second can, and then like if that doesn't do anything, I'm gonna pour in all of the ingredients.
Okay. There's a very tiny fizzle when you pour in the second thing. Other than that, nothing. And so then you go for it. Pour all the bits in, the bits of hair, blood, all different sorts of things.
Oh yes. Am I attuned to the shield that I bought out?
How long ago did you borrow it? It was like a day or two?
That was before the battle at the final battle at Thingy.
It was when we first arrived.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
But
you're on the beach, weren't you?
It was before. Oh yeah, the first beach.
Yeah, because
Even before the
Hannibal
Bothwells.
was making it follow.
Yeah, true.
I will go with yes then.
In that case, I'm gonna let go of it because, well, it hovers.
Okay.
And that means I'm gonna now pour in all of the other ingredients as the second one only fizzled a bit.
Okay.
When Ragnar sees him just go for it and chuck everything in at once, he's gonna be like, "Oh shit!" himself and just like,
all right.
like to take the dodge action.
Noted. All right. So right, you pour the rest of them in. There's like more sizzling, and you can see spitting, a bit like when a fire sparks, but it's all black and there's no flames, and you hear it sort of fizzling, fizzle. And then suddenly all the ingredients in the metal bowl sort of fuse together, and there's a very loud sort of boom noise. And you're gonna dodge, so therefore you need to do dexterity to avoid this. Both of you. But if you're doing the dodge, then you can take that and dodge out of the way. Would you like to like throw yourself on the floor, etc.?
Yes.
All right. So Ragnar throws himself on the floor. Varric, do me a dexterity check.
22.
Okay.
Does the shield do anything with this?
Well, you throw yourselves out of the way, and it's basically a wall of like hot sound. It just like blasts out, and it sort of it knocks you a little, it like ruffles your hair. But the shield wouldn't need to do much because it doesn't come as an attack. It does take a bit of the force, but you don't take any damage from it. Neither of you take any damage from this. Also, by the way, Hannibal walks into the breakfast nook, giving Arissa and her lack of manners a flat stare, and then says, "Where are idiot number 1 and idiot number 2?" just reading that gloriousness out for you all now.
Quickly to make sure that I mention it as well. As Varric is throwing in the last ingredients, he goes bubble, bubble, toil and trouble. Just because that sounds magicy. He
It sounds
assumes that that's how alchemy works. Because
Izzy, Wizzy, let's get busy!
He assumes that's how alchemy is supposed to be done.
I love it. Arissa's response is, Varric is on his way to the alchemy room I made for him. I don't know who idiot number 2 is. Hannibal's been typing for a while. I can only assume it's long. But Zeratassin says, depends on who Hannibal's annoyed at the moment. So you two, you look up, and there's a sort of a cloud of dust and ash hanging over the bowl. And as you sort of shuffle a little closer, peer in on your tiptoes, there's a small, round, black item now where everything's fused together.
Ooh.
Cloak and billows.
Yep, mine as well. I think it's also slightly excited Billow right now. Can I actually take my trident and carefully with the back of it so that I don't damage it, poke at the item?
Sure. You very carefully edge towards it. Edge, edge, edge. Poke. Dunk, dunk. What your trident touches against is quite solid. The sound it makes is like metal on metal, which is odd because none of the ingredients you put into that bowl were metal, but they seem to have fused together into some sort of metal thing. It's about the size of your closed fist, Varric. It's black, like the colour of ash, and it's got sort of little coils looped around it, sort of circular in shape, maybe oval in shape. Arissa says, it'll only explode that room. He won't die, I think.
Because the thing seemed metal, what
Yeah.
I'd like to do is I'd like to pull back the trident, look at Ragnar, and go, so, if anything happens, we weren't here.
I agree.
We were still in bathroom number 15, I think.
Together?
Well, we were looking for the alchemy room, but we didn't find it yet.
Yes.
Because we accidentally opened the door to bathroom 15.
And then we decided to have a bath. I don't know where you're going with it.
No, it's just the fact that we were there still.
Okay.
They'll never find out.
I'm sure they won't.
And with that, I'm gonna quickly grab the item in the metal bowl.
Alright, Varric, do me a constitution check.
As soon as Varric goes for the object, Ragnar is pulling out his rapier preemptively.
That was Constitution, right?
Yes.
That's a 17 total.
To which, sorry, there's been a reply to Arissa from the Hammer of Smite Betheritas. He's remarkably hard to kill. He'll be fine. Sorry, what did you say you got, Varric?
17.
Okay, 17. Okay, cool. It's hot. When you touch it, it does sort of burn and blister your skin a little bit. It's quite hot, like taking something really hot out of the microwave without a handle on it. You have to touch the whole thing. It doesn't do you any HP of damage because you manage to sort of grip and bear it. It's cooling down in your touch, but as you pick it up, it's that initial sort of like burn. It's hot.
Oh yeah. So Varric will go ow because he's a pussy, but then he won't be bothered by it too much afterwards because it cools down. And then he'll go, oh, watch out, I feel it, and he's gonna slightly shake it, like, slightly.
Ragnar is going to preemptively cast Ray of Frost on the ball.
All right.
That happened.
Are you casting Rare Frost on the thing in Varric's hand or the bowl itself?
The thing in Varric's hand.
Okay.
So
Okay, sure.
it was warm.
I was gonna say it'll potentially hit Varric as well, but that's fine.
Can I,
I'm
as he
willing to take
does
this
that,
risk.
can I, as he does that, finish the thing that I was doing as well, because that's just a spell as well. Or a
Sure.
cantrip. He'd do prestidigitation,
Okay.
and then specifically the one where, sparks show up from the thing.
Okay.
Like a shower of sparks comes out of
Okay.
the item.
So Ragnar, as you cast your cantrip, and the beam of blue-white light streaks out, and it impacts on whatever the thing is, the black thing in Varric's hand. So Varric casts his spell as well, and sparks seem to come out. It almost seems to react at the same time, and but it does cool down in your hand, Varric. It was cooling down slowly, but it cools a lot quicker now, having been hit by the Rare Frost.
Now my hand is cold.
What happened to it? And Ragnar's just point his rapier at it.
Well, that was just me having some fun with you. Look, I can make you a rapier spark as well, and then I'm going to cast prestidigitation again to do the same thing, but with his rapier. So suddenly a rain of sparks comes from your rapier. And then because I can spare a bonus action in the same few seconds, I'd like to make my cloak billow.
Alright. So, Ragnar, you get sparks coming from your rapier, and the cloak billows before you.
Ragnar is just going to sigh. And then say, so that didn't do anything?
Well, you cooled it down. It was quite hot before. I'm not sure what else it does. Maybe if I clean it and I rub across it to try and clean it a bit.
So we don't exactly know what that is yet, do we?
To be fair, I think not exactly knowing is an understatement. I freaking clue. But I'm gonna keep it.
It's mine now. It's my pet.
Now that we have this to not ever talk about to the others for a while, unless we know what it is, or starts to endanger us. I have something else I'd like to show you, but that's more of a need-to-know basis. Because you looked at the other stuff and knew what it was. Look, I found this as well, and I'm going to pull out the very, very, very pricey red ruby gem.
Alright.
I'm going to keep it away from the black oval thing, though.
Okay, noted.
It's a black oval thing, right?
Yep.
Black oval metal thing.
Yep. It's about the size of your fist.
Sized.
That's one pricey looking gem.
Yep. It's a very, very pricey, I think, but I think it may do something special because, well, everything else I found did something special. Here's the quill. I mean, ooh, should we try that as well?
Are you suggesting we do this without the oh shit, I've forgotten the word.
Cardinal Eclipse?
Without the rest of Cardinal Eclipse?
Okay.
Without their supervision?
Well, not necessarily, but I'm also not suggesting we don't do that.
I like your thinking. I'm on board.
Okay, in that case, come here with your arm.
What? Ragnar's just gonna be like, oh, okay.
You told me how this works.
That's true, so it should be fine. It's not that I doubt my arcane knowledge, but I was taught about swords. I wasn't taught about magic, really.
Shall I draw a dick on your arm?
Do not draw a dick on my arm. That will be tattooed on my arm forever.
Yep. See, you don't doubt it now. Why would you doubt the positive effect if you don't doubt the negatives?
What would you like to have tattooed on you, Ragnar? With
Ragnar
Varric's
is-
impressive drawing skills.
Shall I
Ragnar is
draw?
going to refrain because he's going to say to Ragnar, he's going to Varric, he's going to be like, I'm going to abstain from that until we have a talented artist.
I am very talented. And if I draw things, I'm also an artist. Solved.
Only if we get matching.
Deal.
Does it have to be in the arm?
Deal. I'll do yours first. Do you want it on your back?
Are we going to have matching trunks now?
you know
They
what?
are now!
Do you want it now, or shall we listen to what you're saying and just do it when everybody's there and have them get dicks on their faces as well?
I like the sound of that. I think everyone should get a matching dick on their face.
Will you help me convince Verti to do one in his neck?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
I can't see anything that could possibly go wrong with this plan.
With that, I'm going to carefully put the quill away. And I'm going to go, so, this ruby, do we know what it does yet? I'm going to tap it.
Yeah, can Ragnar do an Arcana check?
You can, but as far as you can tell from looking at it, it is just a very pricey ruby. Probably worth about 3,000 gold.
Okay, I'm gonna Arcana check anyway is a solid 11. So
It is a beautiful, beautiful ruby. Probably worth about 3,000 gold.
You know what, Varric? I'd say that this ruby's probably worth about 3,000 gold.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
Imagine all the pies we can buy.
I feel like they wouldn't, if I'm being perfect.
What?
I mean,
Sound cut out there.
I don't think the pies would last particularly long, Barrett. Let's be honest.
No, but we don't have to buy them all at the same time. I mean, I could have at least 2 days worth of pies.
You know what? That's a very good point. We'll discuss with the rest of them.
But we weren't going to talk about this pricey thing.
In that case, we won't talk about it to the rest of them. We'll just have some pie days.
Oh, yes. That's good. We'll go on pie dates.
Hell yeah. Ragnar's gonna go for a fist bump.
I'm going to go in for the fist bump as well. Realize I still have the black metal thing in my hand. Carefully put that hand away, switch hands, and give him a fist bump with the empty hand.
Good call.
And then I'm going to... Yeah?
So we're telling the party about everything on a need-to-know basis, right?
Yes. So if it endangers them or us, we should tell them, but until then, maybe the quill.
I like that idea.
Because the quill was for drawing tattoos. I found a new career for when we're done adventuring.
If we survive.
We will survive.
I was the...
I'm glad you got that
I
confidence. Let's
I was
go
finding a
back to
gift of
breakfast.
that just now.
Yes.
Damn it.
Also, because we mentioned Survivor in this conversation, I'll exclude the black oval metal thing as the Eye of the Tiger.
Hell yes.
And with that, Varric's gonna walk back, and because, well, I have that Wanderer feat, which helps remember everywhere I've been, I'm gonna go, this was a bathroom, this was a bathroom, this was a bathroom, then this is the correct door, I guess, and I'm gonna go and find another bathroom, because, well,
Damn it!
about half of these doors are bathrooms.
Are you two going to head your way back to the kitchen then?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Alright.
I will, before I reach there, put away the black metal Eye of the Tiger thing.
Okay, I'm going to put it away.
I also put away the large gem, and the quill is for now resting behind my ear.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure it's safe to assume that as we enter the room, both of us make our cloaks billow.
Yes. All right. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, Arissa, Hannibal, and Betheritas have been discussing, well, Varric. He's remarkably hard to kill. He'll be fine. Hannibal saying he is hardest to kill because I, and sometimes yourselves, tend to keep him on a short leash. Betheritas says, a leash, what good would that do? We've had close enough calls without him even being the cause. He seems to step out of danger as fast as he steps into it. And then there was a magnificent meme of two men blowing something up. Yeah, we've been lucky. If we hear explosions, though, Hannibal says, I believe it would be wise to investigate. Arissa moves on from her porridge to a big plate of full fry-up, and it appears in front of her magically. Also, any news on our two demon guests? Are they still procreating? Hannibal says, still missing the point of two boys being unable to procreate. Betheritas looked at Arissa eating all of her food and said, did you trade appetites with Varric today? She points at her baby bump and says, baby bump, I'm eating for two. He points at Varric's plate and said he normally eats enough for a small regiment. Arissa is told by Hannibal that it's all quite normal, cravings are quite good and bad, but magic-made children can be even worse, and Arissa rolls her eyes. There were then some marvellous memes. And Betheritas has pulled out his egg and is inspecting it. Hannibal looked around and said, did all of the magical creatures leave? To which Tacco popped up from the sugar bowl and said, hello! To which Hannibal stares and says, I see they did not. Just as the two boys, rapscallions, wander into the kitchen and billow their cloaks. Betheritas, as far as you can tell, there might be another crack. You're not quite sure.
He's just going to shrug and put it away now. And then he's going to go to Hannibal. Technically, we can count you amongst those creatures that randomly joined.
Hannibal's just going to stare at him. And just
Arissa's going to laugh. I mean, he's not wrong.
He's just going to keep on staring.
Arissa's going to keep that. Arissa throws a bean.
You hear a whoosh!
She keeps on staring.
I feel like this is a new game that Arissa will enjoy playing. Yeah, you hear a whoosh as the two boys walk in, swooshing their cloaks. Yes, full on anime style. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh as they walk in.
Varric will also audibly go whoosh.
So you hear and see them as they two career into the kitchen.
Vitheritus sort of gestures towards Varric and doesn't break eye contact with Hannibal and goes, well, there's one of them that you're after.
I'm a little lost. What?
Idiot number one?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Okay. I think that's what Varric was referring to.
Okay. Where did you find those hideous things?
I found them outside. They're ours now.
Where?
Well, outside of the spa.
Do you mean you took them from the demons that are currently otherwise occupied?
No, not those demons.
From the corpses of the ones we killed.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Vitheritus is going to insight check that.
Well, he's going to confirm yes and no.
Well, they haven't killed you yet, so they should be fine.
Well, look what they do. And he's going to say whoosh. And as he says that, the cloak billows for a few seconds.
As
I
he
don't understand.
Ragnar is also going to billow the cloak.
Nice. Wait, I gave Arissa one. I gave Ragnar one. Yeah, in that case, it would make most sense for Varric to. Well, Bertie.
Yes.
Can you catch?
I can catch, but what are you?
You'll find out, and I'm gonna throw the the last cloak of billowing to him.
He's gonna catch it, look at it, and then look at his robe, and then look at the cloak.
You can put the cloak over the robe.
I could, but that would be both warm and rather ridiculous, wouldn't it?
Okay, fair. In
You
that
can
case,
always put them on one of those animals that follows us around.
dire goat with a cloak of billowing.
The
No, I'm-
therapist sort of just looks in horror and goes, "No, it would eat it." And we don't know what that will do.
Good point. Well, seeing as mine is sized, I think I know who to give it to. Is a Pristi somewhere near?
Yeah, she'll be with her feet up on the table and sitting there chowing down some sausages.
I'm gonna hand her the cloak, and I'm gonna go. Here you go. If you think of how cool it is, it will do this, and I make it billow again.
Awesome!
So does Ragnar.
She hops up on the chair and puts the cloak on, and for a couple of seconds it drapes down all the way to the floor on her short frame, but then suddenly it retracts up, and it now is the perfect size to fit her. Yeah!
Is it like those window covers? What's the word? Curtains, I guess. Those roll-up curtains when you pull them.
Yes, yeah, literally, it's like a roller blind. And the Theratas, with your 24 insight, you're pretty certain, especially having looked at the thing, it's like, yeah, Varric looted these from the corpses of those demons that you fought. You were very close up and personal to them. You recognise the cloaks.
So the therapist is just going to look to Varric, then to Ragnar, and then to Arissa, and go, well, they definitely came from the corpses. So, firstly, I'd recommend checking for blood. Secondly, can we guarantee they're not cursed?
Well, it hasn't murdered me yet, and I've been wearing it every time ever since I've had it. But wait, aren't you good at checking if shit's evil?
Wait, is he
Well-
speaking to Verti or to me?
I could tell that it's possibly been worn by evil.
But if it's just worn by evil, that would mean it's not evil in itself, so therefore no curse. Because wait, you see the curse on this, right? And I hold out the silver box.
Well, if it's cursed, then Hannah won't let me wear it. So
No,
And the
Arissa
fact
goes to put on
no.
the cloak.
Annabelle rips it and throws it away. No.
As far as you can tell, Hannibal, it's perfectly fine. It won't do anything.
No.
It's just a bit garish.
But I like her.
You
Aww.
can wear it when you are no longer pregnant. Until then, no.
can I hold on to it then? Because then I also have a.
Yes, put it on your sword if you want, or your spear. I don't care.
Can my trident have a cloak of billowing? Because Arissa is not allowed to wear.
Yes, it can.
And then as
Arissa
soon as-
pouts.
I'm gonna go Hannah.
Yes.
So I now have the cloak of billowing that you don't want Arissa to have. I can give it to to Arissa. I could also promise to keep it on my trident if you give me a donut, like the donut.
No. If you try to put it on her, I'll just burn it.
No, you won't. Because that
Really?
means,
Harrison's just
You
gonna
really think I won't do it?
that means I can burn you.
What donut?
It's my donut, but I can't eat it.
He pulled one of his cards again, and a donut that can't be eaten came out of it. It's saturated in magic, so I took it away.
But these magic items are what have saved me before and will probably save me in the future, and I need to have it.
You were trying to eat it, and it's not to be eaten.
That's
this-
how I found out it's not to be eaten, and I won't eat it anymore.
She's gonna turn to the rest of the group. He's currently in a pocket dimension that he can't reach, so whatever you want to do with it. You can stay there, or I can take it out, but someone has to hold him down.
And just what is this donut?
I believe it's some kind of weapon, but it's a very distinguished one.
You mean it's poison?
No, it's just a donut.
I can throw it.
Sorry.
Veritas is going to just look really skeptically at Varric and go, I've seen a lot of creatures killed in various ways, but I have not yet seen death by Doughnut.
Well, can I please show him the donut? I promise to give it back afterwards.
No, you will stay there and I will show it. If you move one step closer, I will burn all of the cloaks.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will.
That means I will stab you severely.
You can
And with that-
try and stab me, but let's see who's faster, shall we?
Faster? Okay.
You wanna take out? She's gonna turn towards Forty. Can you grab him while I do this?
Well, I could try, but it would probably defeat the purpose of me also looking at this donut.
How about I hold him?
Can you hold him?
Well,
I can hold him.
how about I solve this whole issue by not being here? And with that, Varric's
No, I need
just
to keep
gonna
my
walk off.
eyes on you.
Varric's gonna walk off.
Varric walks off and finds somewhere to stand in a huff. So Hannibal.
Literally straight out of the door of the spa.
Okay,
Form a shield around me so he can't reach the damn thing.
sure.
Okay,
That
so
wouldn't
she
change
creates
him
a
walking
shield.
away.
Are you gonna get it out, Hannibal, and show Vitheritas?
No, she's gonna let him go away, but she's gonna take out the donut for everyone else to see inside her shield.
Cool. All right, you guys see it is a donut. From what you've seen of them before, it looks sort of spongy. It's covered in icing, but it's quite flat. It's probably about the width of a thumb, but it's quite wide, probably about the length of a ruler, 30 centimeters. It's sort of smushed, so it's not completely round, but very nearly. And yeah, quite flat.
There's
Yeah.
also teeth marks in one side.
Well, there's sort of teeth marks on one side. It's very solid as you try it. There's like a tiny little indent scratch on one side.
So Vitheritas is going to glance it up and down and try to see if he can tell anything about it.
Cool. Do me a religion check.
Is this donut basically the god in his religion now?
Well, that's going to be interesting. What do I get on that? I get a minus
-6.
2. I get a minus 2 on a 3.
That's one weird looking donut. And now you're kind of hungry.
Vitheritas just shrugs and then looks at it. As far as I can tell, it's a donut.
Can Hannibal throw it?
Yeah, you can do.
Can she keep the shield around it as it goes?
Yeah, you could do. Yeah.
Wait, isn't she also in that shield?
Yeah, but if she's guarding the donut, so if the shield is going to guard the donut, so you can't reach it even if she's not away from it. Because God knows you probably would fly and bite it while it's flying away from me. I know you.
Varric is specifically not in this room. He wouldn't even know you've thrown it.
Yeah, like being in another room ever stopped you before.
Oi!
I've been in a year with you, dumbass. Anyway, she's gonna throw it at Verti.
All right. Are you going to throw it to attack him or just to demonstrate that it can be thrown?
To attack him.
Okay, roll me a d20 and add your dexterity modifier.
Dexterity. Okay. And then 14 in total.
Okay. The Theratas of 14 does not hit you, does it?
Nope.
No. Okay, so are you going to respond to having this donut flung across the room at you?
He's going to step slightly to the side and watch it sail onto the table and what was that meant to prove?
Well, as the donut goes flying past you, it sort of goes right past your elbow within a couple of inches. It makes impact on the table, and a shower of pink sparks shoot up, a bit like hundreds and thousands, like, and then it rebounds and instantly goes back into Hannibal's hand.
Vitharius just blinks and looks at the donut, looks at where it was, looks back at the donut, and then goes, "Can I have the donut and can I try something ridiculously stupid?"
Sure. You're not the one I have a contract with. I don't care. And she throws him the donut.
This time he's going to actively catch it.
Okay.
And then he's going to put it, like, wrap the donut around, like, a shaft of his hammer.
Okay.
And then he's going to throw his hammer.
Thor style. All right. Do a D20 and add your dex just to throw a thing.
That'll be a 12.
Okay. Where are you throwing it?
He's just going to aim at the center of the wall.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
breaking down all of the walls in this spot.
Okay. So you throw. It sails through the air. Takes your hammer with it. The hammer sort of spins. The donut is sort of like spinning in the air, going round and round and round and round. The hammer, like the handle, sort of like vroom, 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 doosh, 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 clatters into the wall, doosh, and then immediately rebounds. The hammer is now spinning towards you, accompanied by the donut, flying through the air back straight towards your face, Vitharitas.
Vitharius is going to panic for a minute and then try and grab it.
Okay. All right. Do me an acrobatics to catch it.
Oh boy. That will be 2.
Okay.
That
Okay.
dice is not being nice to me tonight.
Okay.
I'm swapping.
I'm swapping my dice. All right. So, having not quite thought this through, it makes impact on the wall, and then it immediately rebounds, coming straight back towards you, vroom, 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 like a spinning blade. Suddenly, the handle of your hammer suddenly very dangerous as it comes flying through the air. Your moment of sudden panic of what do I do? Costs you as you suddenly reach one hand out a second too late as the handle of your hammer and the donut catch you right round the side of the face. Clang, clang! And then having made impact with you, it then sort of like clatters to the floor, having returned back to its original place. Vitharitas, you take.
That sounded like a lot of dice.
Wasn't that many dice? It's only 21 points of damage from being hit in the head with your own hammer and the donut.
To be honest, that's a low
Oh,
damage.
hang on. Vitharitas.
Yeah.
You need to do me a... Where's it gone? A charisma save, please.
Oh, Christmas save. Oh, thank God. Please don't roll 1. Please don't roll 1.
You get a bonus from being near me and my ally.
I don't think he needs it.
Okay.
He already gets like a plus 72 to any charisma save, I guess.
Okay. Bloody hell. Okay. Vitharitas, for a second after you get struck by the donut and you sort of see a few showers of sparks and stars form in your eyes, the red sort of hundreds and thousands sparks that shot off the table when the donut made impact, they phase in your vision, and for a second they seem to seep into your skin, and they give you sort of like a thumping of your heart that seems to quicken and pace, and you panic for a second, and then you swallow it back and it's all fine. You rub your head and everything's okay again.
Vitharius is going to wipe blood from his lips from where the hammer hit him. And then he's going to turn to Hannibal and go, in theory, this is a useful item. Just needs a little better application.
Annabelle's just gonna stare at him and shrug. You were right, that was incredibly stupid. I think I should hold on that until we find a better use for it.
Could I try use?
Vitharitus is going to slide the donut off and then hold it out to Ragnar. By the way, do not eat it and do not hit anyone with it. It tried
Yes, I
to
wouldn't
do.
recommend eating it. I think it will probably blow you up.
I don't know if it'll blow you up, but it will try and do something to you.
It's really saturated in magic. I think it will even give me an indigestion, and that's saying something.
Oh, goodness. Ragnar is going to... Arissa, does there happen to be, I don't know, a room where one might be able to train against dummies or something in your spa, perchance?
Train against what?
Like, just wooden dolls that aren't doing anything, just something to aim at.
She stares at you, looks constipated for a minute. And
Alright,
then says, there is now.
Excellent. I'm going to try out this donut in there.
I believe we should follow you. This might end either not very well or hilariously.
I agree. And Ragnar's intent is fully to just try and see whether or not he has a knack for this donut.
who's going with him?
Vitharitus is going to watch.
Okay. Arissa finds it amusing that no one has asked for directions yet. Arissa, are you going with them or are you staying for breakfast? Or bringing breakfast with you?
I will bring breakfast with me.
Alright. Arissa, behind you appears this sort of like breakfast cart from a hotel, just sort of trundling along with like those metal bowls with like the heat warmers on top of them. Like you can smell hash browns and cooked potatoes and like tomatoes and sausages and toast and baked beans. Like trundle, clang, 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 coming along behind you. And you manage to direct them and you get to a nice open space. It's sort of like a big training ground. It's like a conservatory. You can see to the nice outside area. There's a huge empty floor space with about 5 different dummies that you can move around freely on wooden stands.
Okay, Ragnar's gonna put one dummy up in what he thinks is vaguely in range.
Cool.
Then
Really,
bonus
all that
action
technology and
is-
it's a burger.
What?
The GIF, it's all that technology and it's a freaking burger. Always.
Yeah.
Burgers
Anyway.
are great.
Bonus action. Cloak of Billowing. Action. He's eating the donut at the wooden doll.
Alright. I yeet. Hang on, I've got to put this down. Right. I yeet the donut. Alright, noted. Alright, cool. So do me a d20, add dexterity. Fling it.
Oh shit, I dropped everything.
Oh no! No!
Oh, okay. I rerolled that because my dice was on the floor. That will be a 17.
Cool. Alright.
I can count.
You take careful aim, like one of those guys at the Olympics playing darts. You stand there, you sort of rock from foot to foot for a moment, take a deep breath, focus, and then the donut flings itself across the room at your command, flies across the room, hits the dummy, hits it sort of between the collarbone and the jaw, so sort of like halfway down the side of its neck. It leaves a fairly deep impact, so there's like a big sort of like crease in the wood now, and then almost at once it like it hits and immediately rebounds back towards you. You've now got a flying frisbee donut coming flying back towards you, vroom 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 through the air.
Gonna try and catch it.
Alright, do an acrobatics to catch it, sorry.
Okie dokie. That I'm just gonna take a photo of this.
Oh my god, as if there is a gif of someone having a donut thrown at them. That's perfect.
So let's see. There's my result.
I am on the other page. What? Okay, 1. All right.
Yep.
So you get bitch
Yep.
slapped in the face by a donut. All right. Ragnar, can you please do me a charisma save? And you take
I got
17 points of damage from being smacked in the face by the donut.
24 on the charisma.
Damn it! Okay, again, similar to the Theritas, you can see a shower of like 100,000 sparks in your eyes. Your skin prickles for a moment, and you start to feel your heart racing faster and faster. But just as suddenly as it began, it stops, and the donut is now at your feet on the floor.
Ragnar's just gonna be like, okay, well, I feel like this isn't necessarily going to be the most useful if it's gonna try and murder us every time we throw it.
Well, if we attach it to something that's not going to immediately sling it back.
So,
Like a pillow!
But then surely it comes with the issue of if we're throwing what is now a pillow,
Well,
it's not.
let me try something different. And this time he's going to grab his javelin.
Alright. Are you attaching the donut?
Yeah, he's attaching the donut to the javelin and aiming down at one of the things.
Alright, do a... Yeah, same again, do a d20 in dexterity. I was going to say it could be a javelin attack, but no, just...
That's 2.
2 to hit.
Yep.
Right.
So you're aiming at the wall and you miss.
Well, he was aiming at a dummy this time.
Oh, okay. That makes it slightly more acceptable.
Would
At least it wasn't a
possible
nat
for me-
1.
Would it be possible for me to ready the help action to help the Bertie catch it?
So you're now standing together to try and catch this thing.
Alright. You now have a javelin. The javelin isn't spinning round and round like your hammer was. The javelin is spinning sideways. So the donut is sort of spinning horizontally, and it's sort of twisting the javelin round with it. So it's flying towards you, a bit like when you see them in movies and like the bullets twisting in the air. Like that's what the javelin is doing right now. It makes impact and immediately clank clank. It's coming back towards you. The pointy end is facing you. Javelin with a donut on it. Perfect. So yeah. Are you going to help him try to catch it?
Yes.
Okay. In which case, can you both do me acrobatics to leap at this flying donut javelin? There's a sentence I
Jesus
never thought
Christ.
I'd say.
Yes,
Nat 20.
enjoy.
Hey. No. All right, nasty. When you work together, guys, it's like Team Rocket. It's brilliant. Woohoo!
Wait, so
All
you're
right.
blasting off now?
They are with the donut. All right, you both leap simultaneously at once. It's like a beautiful paladin rainbow as you both leap into the air. You both grip the edge of one side of the donut and one piece of the javelin, and you come to land on the floor together. Yes! Brilliant! You caught it. You take no damage whatsoever, and you do not need to make any checks.
So he's going to look at it and go, well, that's definitely a downside when you throw it.
I somehow think it will be ineffective.
Well, it's
Maybe
nice to
in
have your
the hands of
weapon.
Barrett.
It's nice to have your weapons returned to you. It's just when they come back point first, it's a slight problem.
Hannibal,
Yes.
I think it would be in your best interest, and the best interest of the party, the protection of Arissa, for this weapon to be used by Varric.
He's gonna raise an eyebrow. Are you sure?
Well, he's the
Yeah,
most
he is.
dexterous of us.
The therapist is going to shrug and go, at the very least, if he eats it, he'll keep returning.
You get get an elf of way.
Is everyone in agreement then? Raise your hands.
Vitharicus is just going to shrug and then raise her hand.
Ragnar raises his hand.
Arissa will raise her hand because she doesn't know what's going on, but it seems like fun.
Fine, throw it here.
Vitharicus is going to disconnect the donut, and rather than throw it, he's going to specifically walk over and then put it in her hand, and going, I don't think throwing is a great idea right now.
Really? You think I couldn't catch it?
It's more if you miss it, it's going to hit me in the face again, and I've already had one once.
If you miss being hit that much, I can always do it for you.
I'll pass.
Fine. Will you stay here or will you follow me as I
So-
bring this to Varric?
So he's going to slap it down into her hands and then turn to walk.
Fine, I shall find him myself. And she walks out the door. She pokes her head back in and glares at them. Watch Arissa. And then she walks back out.
Arissa's just like, how do I watch myself?
With a mirror.
Okay. She summons a mirror.
And watches herself eating a tottering pile of toast, hash brown, scrambled egg, sausages, tomato, and baked beans. Scooby-Doo style.
Can
Oh,
Hannibal
I was
follow
thinking
her
Kirby
sixth sense
style.
to Varric? Can Hannibal follow her sixth sense to Varric?
Yeah, you can do. Varric, you left the front door. Where else did you go?
He's just sitting out there, like,
Oh, pouting.
no, not necessarily pouting. He'll just be sitting there because, well, they didn't trust him. Let's prove them wrong. He will, however, be billowing his cloak every 6 seconds.
Alright, Hannibal, you step outside and almost immediately find Varric with a billowing cloak flapping in the wind.
She's gonna stare at him for a while, just watching him below his cloak, before rolling her eyes to the sky in despair and
He'll be
dropping the donut in
giggling.
his lap.
He'll be giggling while the cloak billows, and then when the donut hits him, he'll be. Why the sudden change of heart?
Because they're morons and they can't catch it.
So they need someone to actually be able to.
Yes, I don't need it, and they unfortunately are too slow to actually get it without getting injured.
Huh.
Which defies the purpose of a weapon.
What happens when I throw it? Like, did they test anything with it?
They did, but you can test it yourself. I am done for today.
Okay.
And she walks away.
Okay, with that, he's gonna start throwing it, like, outside, just randomly. He throws it.
Okay.
tries to-
You've got beach, ocean, rocks, a few small fluffy creatures, and the remnants of the trees.
First, he'd go for the beach. Bless you.
Thank you. The beach sneezes in response.
Shit,
Alright.
it's a mimic. Stab it.
Ah, the whole place is mimicked. Ah! Okay, Varric, do a d20 and add your dex to throw it at the beach.
Okay, that's a net 20, so 28 total.
All right. It hits exactly in the spot where you were aiming, between two interesting piles of sand, maybe left from tracks where someone like Tacco has been wandering around to go down to the sea and have a swim. It lands exactly in the middle of it, and then immediately it springs straight back and comes edging towards you. Are you going to try and catch it?
Yes.
Cool. Do an acrobatics to catch it, because it could be dexterity, but why not? I want to make you all leap into the air.
22.
Nice! Okay, Varric, you, with one-handed catch, you sort of leap onto the tips of your toes, catch it, stand there looking pleased with yourself. What was so hard about this?
Ragnar's
That's why
going
I have it.
Ragnar's going to walk up to Varric, place his hand on Varric's shoulder, cloak billowing, and basically say, whilst blood is like running down his face from where smacked him in the face, and he's just going to look at him and say, "You're welcome."
I guess. Thank you. Did you convince Hannah that I should have it?
I helped.
It
But
looks like she punched you. Do I need to stab her?
No, that was the donut that did that.
Wait, how? It's just you throw it and catch it.
I was proving a point.
I guess thank you, but how is it that dangerous? Just so I know that I should not try and kill myself with it.
If it doesn't slow down if you don't try and catch it. If it'll just hit you in the face.
So the thing was on its way to your face, and you decide to catch it?
Yes, let's go with that. All to prove a point. He's gonna pat Varric on the back, turn around, walk away, cloak billowing.
Wait. I have something for you.
Ragnar will stop, turn on his heel, and say, "You do."
As a thank you for having, for convincing Hannah to give it to me, I have something for you. And he goes, he puts down his messenger bag, his scout's bag. He opens it and he starts pulling random stuff out of it, just like pie and another pie and another pie. And there's potatoes, and then there's also the whips and stuff like that.
Ooh.
And then there's drugs and other poisons and everything. Socks, surprisingly good socks with the Thieves Guild logo.
I think I know someone who could use those socks.
Well, but these are my socks. I got them from the thieves, from some friends.
Oh, never mind. That person's an old friend. They're a goblin. It's all very confusing.
I like socks.
And then he goes, here it is. I found it. Close your eyes.
Ragnar will close his eyes. He's
And
kind
with
of
that-
concerned.
Rosie, did we establish if I gave him the little knight already, or did I keep it to give it to him when Blair was there as well?
I think you kept it, didn't you?
Yep, that's what I thought as well. I
Yeah.
want to give it to him.
Aww.
Could you help me figure out what it was exactly? Because we only did that over voice chat.
Oh man. Okay, hang on.
It
was the
a little
one-
knight that had a song in it, right? A music box kind of thing.
Yeah. And it was basically a little, a wooden music box, wasn't it? I think it was
Yeah.
green, maybe blue. I'll go with turquoise.
Yeah, that works.
Let's go with turquoise. Tiny little thing. And you open it up and there's a little knight inside. The knight was he on a horse? Was he not?
Yes.
I think he was, wasn't he?
No, he was not.
No, it was just a knight in armour with a big
Yeah.
plumey helmet. Yeah, and it spins around and it just plays the tune of a fairly well known I'd say bardic ballad, sort of like one of those very popular, well known ones, like the Ballad of Sir Lancelot kind of thing.
Is it the Ballad of Sir Robin, the brave Sir Robin?
Sure, why not? No, it's the ballad of the brave Sir Cumberbatch.
Yay!
Because he is the meme currently on my screen right now.
I will have to write that down. Ragnar is very thankful, and he's just like, "Thank you, this." Oh, and he's gonna give Varric a hug.
Varric's
gonna
gonna
try-
hug him back.
He's gonna try and not wipe the blood that is on his face on Varric, but not entirely in his control.
Seeing as I took Cure Wounds last level up, I'd like to cast it on Ragnar.
Okay, Ragnar, as you hug, it's a really, 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 really good hug. And you feel slightly better after you've had the hug. It's very nice. You get the impression you may have been healed up a little bit. It's very pleasant.
Ragnar will thank him again.
You're welcome, my friend. Just try not to throw fireballs at your friends again, okay?
I'll do my best.
Good. And also forgive me if I ever happen to, accidentally murder everything.
I will understand. Just if I do throw fireballs at people again, just break my kneecaps. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I'll keep you to that. But I'll do it in the most painless way possible.
I'd appreciate that. Well, depending on how much I am aware of my surroundings whilst I'm in mind control.
You might
If I'm
appreciate it
completely not
afterwards.
myself. Afterwards, definitely.
And with that, I guess Varric's gonna put the donut over his trident just to have it hang there because, well, where else would he keep it? His belt is full with bear traps already.
Just for anyone who is unaware, this donut item is in fact called the frisbee of frenzy. So yeah, that's a thing. So yeah, alrighty. So yeah, Varric, you have your donut back. Everyone enjoys the spa. After maybe another hour and a half, when it's approaching midday, you hear footsteps coming down the corridor, and two fairly beaten up but fairly smug-looking demons enter and sit down in the lounge area where you all commune, plonk themselves down on a sofa, grin at you all. Morning.
Morning. I need breakfast now. Is there still any breakfast left? That's
There's
Varric
a
actually.
pile next to Arissa still.
Arissa?
It just keeps replenishing itself whenever she eats.
Yeah, but Varric is still gonna ask because, well, she's pregnant and therefore dangerous.
Hannibal is in the breakfast room, by the way, just in case.
Oh, hi, Hannah.
Hello, did you manage to save yourself from the donut?
Well, look, my face isn't bloody. I saved it, and I also healed the Sir Knight Duck Knight Ragnar person.
That's good.
Ooh, also, guys, I have a question for you guys. Verti, this is gonna sound weird, but could you close your eyes and extend your arm to me?
So Vitheritus is going to walk in with Islia just as Varric is turning around and asking that.
Islia raises an eyebrow.
Hi, Islia.
Good morning.
Oh, you're still alive.
Yes, we promised to keep her safe. Of course she's still alive. We're amazing at what we do.
She's such a wallflower. I thought she died.
Oi! Don't be so mean.
I'm not. She really does disappear in the background.
If only you did. That's
I
not
can.
for you
And
personal.
she turns into a shadow on the wall.
Islia just quietly
Is it
goes and
really
sits down on a sofa next to Arissa.
Hello.
Hello. And she joins you in a big plate of food.
So Vitheritus is going to turn to Varric now and go, so what's this about closing my eyes? And
Well, remember how we got that tattoo from the angel for helping them?
yes.
And then we also got that tattoo from Carnal Eclipse?
Yes.
Well, I have a plan, and according to Ragnar, it might help you fight better. Well, be better at something.
Vitheritus is going to turn slowly and look at Ragnar.
Ragnar is preoccupied telling nightly tales to Tacco.
Oh!
That way it's not his problem.
And based on the fact that you have found some very interesting items so far, just what is your plan to make me fight better?
Well, I give you a magical tattoo, and then you're stronger. He then exposes his arm, and on his arm you see a drawing in pen, or, well, ink, like normal ink.
He's going to look at that and go, and that makes you stronger.
Well, stronger or better or faster. Well, it helps, but I guess you'll have to find out what it helps with for you.
What did you draw on yourself, Varric?
Well, this is not with the quill
Ah, okay.
yet. Mine just has like a tree of life kind of thing,
Okay.
but it's with normal ink, just not the actual quill.
Okay. Noted.
The therapist is going to frown slightly and go, is this like the deck of cards?
No, because that also has downsides like falling from a great height and then getting my leg chomped off.
Oh yeah, that happened.
This one only has positive things, as in, I make you a pretty drawing, and then you get better at whatever you want to be better at. All you have to do is think it, and then, well, you'll be better.
The therapist is going to be insight checking this like there's no tomorrow.
Rosie, how does this work? Because Varric fully believes that what he is saying is true. Do I roll persuasion against his insight?
See what he gets for his insight, because he might just believe you.
If it's a nat one, he'll certainly.
That will be a 17.
Okay, do a persuasion.
Yeah, that will be 4. So I guess that'll be that he sees right through me and sees if it's
Well,
something that's
you
true or
you see Varric is speaking in earnest, and he believes this to be true. That does not necessarily mean that it is.
The therapist is going to be frowning and say, if it makes you better, and you've already shown Ragnar, has Ragnar taken one yet?
No, because Ragnar wanted to make sure that I showed you guys as well. His specific words were, I will abstain and I'll give it, I'll take one once you've told the entire group. Or something along those lines. I don't know. We were busy making an alchemic reaction back then, but that turned out to be nothing. We may have done it wrong.
Well, at least you walked away from that one alive.
Yeah, all it did was create this like hot wave of air, like ripple, 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 and then we were blown back a bit, but your shield saved me, and then, well, here we are.
It really does surprise me how we are still alive.
That's
How I am
because I'm
still here.
amazing.
No,
That-
not really. No.
Oh, yes, it is. And with that, he'll do one of these Hercules poses.
And
And
Billow the
the
cloak,
cloak
I
will
assume. Just from now on, every Varric sentence will end with, and the cloak will billow.
So the therapist is going to think for a bit, and then he turns around and goes, well, this actually might be an opportune moment. We've had, obviously, 2 people traveling with us for some time, and if they want to get the same tattoos we have, I believe Sir Ragnar has definitely earned a mark of carnal eclipse, should he want it.
I agree. I could even try to, if you hold your chest still, I can even try to make the what was the order called? The golden chalice, right?
Yes.
I can even make the golden chalice for you, like on your neck or on your arm, or I could give you one of those tears below your eye that shows that you've killed someone.
Oh!
Ironically enough, I have several OCs that actually have those tears, so I find this amusing.
The therapist is going to blink because he's never really heard of these tears.
all of the real bad guys near the front.
Well, I wouldn't want to be mistaken for a bad guy, would I?
No, it's not necessarily the bad guy, more the badass guys.
That said, I wouldn't mind bearing the mark of my group.
Would you want it on your neck? Because that way it shows even when you're wearing all of your armor. I could also do the words peace on your knuckles, but, well, peace is a bit difficult because then maybe it would be P-E-A-S, because otherwise your knuckles end and you'd have the E on your other hand, and that doesn't work.
I think I might pass on the knuckles.
In that case, do you want the chalice in your neck?
He's going to shrug and go, may as well. Although if this is something that is going to aid people and make them stronger, should it not be Arissa that gets it first? After all, isn't she the one that everyone's trying to protect right now?
That is very true. Arissa, what kind of tattoo would you want?
She looks up, startled that she's been asked the question, and she has a bit of bacon hanging out of her mouth.
Oh, I can draw bacon. I know specifically what that looks like.
She shakes her head, just like, no. She finishes eating the bacon and it's just like, I don't know. This is. I'm too fooded to think ink.
Yes, let's not tattoo the pregnant lady.
We could always tattoo Hannah.
She's gonna start
don't know.
laughing.
Yes.
You can
I-
try, but it's gonna disappear after you make it.
I don't know.
How long will it stay though?
No
I
more
don't-
than 5 seconds, I believe.
I don't know if it
My
wants her
skin
to.
absorbs it.
I don't know if you want to make her stronger. Also, this is magical tattoo. I'm not sure if that works the same.
It does not. My own magic will just eat it.
Well, we can still try. Shall I draw a dick on your knee?
She slaps him on the head. I don't need your male reproductive organs on my body, thank you.
In that case, female reproductive organs? If that's better suited for you, I can do that as well.
Or any other species you have on this dreaded place.
Wait, what do those look like? Huh.
Just draw on the duckling and let's leave it at that. Yes, Varric, we understood that from the what the vaginas
Oh,
look like that you mumbled.
I'm not entirely sure if that. I wasn't entirely sure if that got through because my mic is being a dick.
Then draw a dick on your mic. Then it's a dick mic.
So, did you want to draw on Ragnar?
I'm gonna turn to Ragnar and go, hey, so about that tattoo, do you want one? I can give you the Carnal Eclipse logo. Look, we all got it. And he's gonna show his shoulder and go, look, I got it here.
I sure. Go for it. Sure, why not?
Could someone sit next to him so that I can have a reference on what it like? I want to make it look good because, well, I don't want to mess up his shoulder.
Vatera just shrugs and goes, well, if you're doing it on the shoulder, that's where I got mine. I guess you could copy it.
Ooh, good.
And with that, he's going to start peeling off his robe, and then he'll fold that and put it next to him, and then he'll just start taking off his breastplate and top armor.
A good 20 minutes later. Doffing armor takes a while.
Mr. Duck, I sent you a message.
Islia bats her eyes.
I have that message and I will bear it in mind. Ragnar's going to also. He's decided he's chilling, so he's not wearing his armor right now. He's just wearing some chill out clothes.
Ragnar is wearing chill out clothes. Like it.
Yeah. So he's going to take off his and expose his right shoulder.
Isla gets up to help the Theratas take off his bits and pieces.
If people are looking at Ragnar, they'll probably notice like the occasional burn mark on his body, for reasons to which he would wink at Navigne, and also a mark on his neck from another tattoo on his neck.
Nice. Varric's gonna whistle at the impressive tattoo work, and he's gonna go, I'm not sure if this will be that good because, well, I only ever made one other drawing.
Oh, thank you. I did work hard on it.
Wait, what?
And I was just gonna smile.
Ragnar's gonna be like, what are you talking?
I'm talking about the tattoo, and you're there. And he's gonna point at it.
What do you mean there's a tattoo there? And Ragnar's gonna just like try and look at himself.
Hannah, what did you do?
Navigne slinks in next to you and just nods enthusiastically as if to say, like, yep, it's always been there. I know.
I believe I told you a while ago that when he joined our party, I didn't trust him, so I placed a curse on him. That's the curse.
He got a tattoo. That's
Yes.
it.
A curse usually does transmit a tattoo in some way or another. Sometimes it's inside the organ, so you don't really see it. This one ended up on the neck.
And just what does the curse do?
Tattoo
Well,
him.
if you goddammit, English words. If you knock someone unconscious because you are attacking them, you will become paralyzed. If they die, well, you die as well. In our party, I mean.
Ragnar's just gonna take a moment and be like, huh.
Oh, so that's why you were suddenly stuck when you attacked us.
Well, I wasn't going to allow him near Arissa when I didn't know him.
So you were completely fine with him nearly murdered Arissa.
You have to repeat that you got cut off.
So you're perfectly fine with him nearly murdering all of Fireball, but he can't reach Arissa.
If he had actually hit her, he probably would be dead right now. He could have killed the child, and killing the child would end up in him dying. But since the fireballs didn't actually hit anybody, he didn't end up paralyzed. So all is well.
Thara just sort of looks at Hannah, looks at Ragnar, then looks across at Isla, then himself, and then back at Hannah and go, I believe that fireball hit many people.
Well, most of us.
Confined
Well,
spaces and all.
about, so I don't really care.
That's the definition of lawful evil.
But Hannah, surely if you didn't care about anyone else in the party, this curse wouldn't affect me if I knocked the Theratas unconscious. It would only affect Arissa. So sure, for some reason, it makes me feel like you do actually care a little bit about us. Am I wrong?
No, you misunderstand. It acts on both on my feelings and your feelings. You're the one who cares about them. You might be mind controlled, but you still care about them. So the curse is going to act.
That's almost disappointing. I thought you had a heart for a moment.
No, of
Anyway,
course she
so-
doesn't have a heart, you know.
It was very sweet of you to think so, but very naive as well.
I could always hope.
He's gonna pat his head. So, do
Do
what
I
you
roll,
you get the tattoo?
do I roll a performance or some drawing this thing?
I'm gonna say yes. Because it's
I
like
am
an
very-
art performance to make
Yeah.
art, yeah.
I
Let's
am-
go with that.
I am very, very sorry, Ragnar.
Oh my god.
because of card magic. um, um, I'm sorry. Nah.
Why are you apologizing?
Because I rolled a -3. With a nat one, I feel like I try my best, like the tongue out of mouth kind of thing, and then it still is a dick butt in the end.
I've just got this mental image of you spending like a good solid 20 minutes tattooing and then realized you've tattooed the back of your own hand.
So basically, Ragnar, you now have the world's most janky ass tattoo. Like, Varric stares very, very hard at the Theritas's tattoo, and tries desperately hard to copy it, but his hand's shaky a little bit, he can't quite concentrate, it's all weird. He's like scratching into your skin. The best thing that can be said for it is it doesn't hurt as much as you had been told tattoos hurt. You had been told it was like very painful, it was a tolerance thing, it would burn. No, it feels a bit like someone's like scratching you with like a quill pen. So it's scratching the surface, but it doesn't feel very painful. No regrets. Yes, exactly.
No regrets.
So yeah, you get like this wonky logo, some of it's back to front, like the writing's all lopsided and it all looks like it's in Comic Sans, like
Ragnar's gonna look at it. And he's gonna look at Varric. And he's gonna look back to it. And he's gonna be like, "Thank you, Varric."
You're very welcome. Here's also a rubber ducky for your trouble. I hand him a rubber ducky.
I'm writing that down in my inventory.
I believe that's the third rubber ducky he's been giving to make up for something that he's done.
Just soon, the whole world will be like, oh yeah, I've got one of those too. What did he do to you? Burnt down my house. What did he do to you? Ate all my food. Yeah. Ragnar, as you go to you examine the duck and go to put it away, you notice that a little furry face with dark fluffy hair and big beady eyes is peering up at the duck like, ah.
Ragnar's going to look at the duck, look at Tacco, look at the duck, look at Tacco. You're like, every knight needs a noble steed. And he's going to offer the duck to ride for Tacco, and he's going do you wish to mount your steed?
It's like almost as big as Tacco. And he like puts it down in front of him. Ah! And then he like sits astride the rubber duck.
Oh my god, shut it up.
That's a happy taco.
That is very happy, Tacco. Thank you.
Taco!
I wonder if he would be as happy if I squished him.
Ragnar is like, upon hearing Annabelle say that, Ragnar's just gonna like shoot a glare at Annabelle and be like, I don't care if this curse will kill me. Touch him and I will end you.
It's my little Fluffy. Don't touch the Fluffy.
Ragnar,
Annabelle's just gonna laugh at him.
Ragnar, we learned it protects the people you care about, right?
That is true. That is true.
Do you care about Hannah?
Well, of course he doesn't, but he can detect. But I care about myself, so if he would still die.
No. Shame.
Yeah, that isn't it?
But what if you're not the one dealing the fatal blow?
Then I would kill you.
But that's difficult after the fatal blow.
The fatal blow would not kill me.
That's kind of the point of a fatal blow, is that you die from it.
Yes, if you don't have more bodies, which I do.
Then we'll kill that one as well.
You'll probably die of old age before you manage to kill all of me.
Don't worry, the world will fall then.
And with that, I'm gonna turn to Verti and I'm gonna go, so, do you want a tattoo as well?
The therapist is gonna take a good long hard look at Ragnar and go, I think I'll wait.
Would you like me to perform?
The therapist shrugs and goes, sure.
Oi!
It's
And
for
with that-
the best, Varric.
With that, I cast cantrip message.
Okay, on who?
Ragnar.
Oh no.
And I'm gonna go, you know what to do.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. So he's gonna go, you know what to do. And then hand you the quill. But do you know what to do is just the cantrip message.
So the sneeze isn't included.
No, because I don't want to deafen you again.
It's Varric's dead giveaway when he's lying.
Ragnar's gonna give Varric a look. Give 30 a look. And he's gonna be like, where do you want this? 30.
How do you want to do this?
The therapist will think, and then he's going to hold out the bicep of his weapon arm.
Excellent. And I'm assuming you want the image of your order on here, right?
Preferably, yes.
Also your order.
But yes, he's the big boss. Anyway.
He's going to shrug slightly, point at Rita, and go, technically she is.
Close enough. Anyway. Ragnar's gonna start having a little go.
Cool. Do me a performance check. And also, Ragnar, what would you like to add your +2 to? For your +2 from the magical demon quill? You get a +2. You can add it to charisma, dex, strength, whatever.
And is that the, just to clarify, ability score or ability modifier?
Modifier, fuck it.
Oh, wow.
That makes it way easier.
Fucking hell.
Oh, good.
So yeah, you can only one, and you can't split it, so you can't have one and one. It has to be just one thing.
Okay, and just because I'm using a spreadsheet to do an automated spreadsheet, is it okay if I just functionally change that to a +4 in the ability?
Yes.
Okay. But that's I go.
I love that the It's Tacco Time gif has just been flashing at me for the last, 20 minutes. This is my favourite thing.
The big issue is that I now feel like tacos, but there's no taco place.
I really want tacos.
Okay, I've added it to my charisma. Yeah, I will now roll my performance.
Performance. Yes, I was going to say, make sure you add it to whatever you're adding before, in case it affects your performance.
Yes, which does. So that is a 25.
Excellent! Alright, and you are doing the Order of the Golden Chalice symbol.
Yes.
Cool. Alright. Flawless.
Really?
Impeccable design. It's got some shading. The wording on the banner is immaculate. It's all exactly the same height and length. You get a little bit of it's all in black and white, obviously, because it's just the one pen. But yeah, pretty damn
Also,
good.
If possible, with the I and the L of chalice, he's gonna make it vaguely, very if you're immature, you could see it as just to satisfy Varric.
Tiny little tricks. Okay.
But to most mature people, it would look just like the word chalice.
Yeah, but to Varric, it's chadikish.
Awesome. All right, Betheritas, add your +2 to whatever you would like. Again, it doesn't seem to hurt particularly. It's like a scratch, but not a very deep one. You got your tattoo already, so it's nothing like that. It's ridiculously painless in comparison.
Noted. And now I have a choice of strength or charisma. Fuck it, because who doesn't need a 20 charisma save?
Yep.
With that frisbee around, good idea.
Could I then turn to the duck and go, hey, I've actually had a design in mind that I'd like to add to my tattoos. Could you do that for me, Ragnar?
I can try.
Or, you know what? Seeing as you'd possibly want to take revenge for...
No,
Verti,
I don't
could-
want to take revenge. But okay, no. 30 do it. Well, not 30 do it. It's fine.
Verti, could you do this tattoo? And he actually pulls out a drawing of a tattoo.
Vitheritus looks at him and goes, if you're sure.
Well, I know that you have, like, your oath that makes it so that you can't, endanger us. So that means you won't stab me. And then, of course, well, you like me, so you're not gonna draw dicks just all over my arm. And with that, he's gonna take his shirt off. And that reveals, like, 6 tattoos on his chest, big one on his back, the shield on his shoulder, and then on his arm there's the angel tattoo. And he'll go, here, on the forearm, and he wipes off all of the ink that's still somewhat wet from the tattoo that was on his forearm.
The fake tattoo. Alright, what image would you like to get?
Let me quickly see if I can find back the specific tattoo that I had prepared. Because while I didn't know we were having these tattoos, I did have pictures of tattoos that Varric would want. Because I'm that detailed in the backstory of the character. Aesthetics. Yeah, that.
Ah,
This one-
okay. Arrows, I like it.
This one, but on the arm. And the
Okay.
middle one is a trident instead of an arrow.
Alright, he shows you the drawing, Vitheritas. Are you up for it?
Wow, fancy.
Yep, he's going to give it a shot.
Alright, do your performance.
That would be a 16.
Alright.
Performance is charisma based, right?
Yep.
Nice.
That was also a lucky 7 on the dice.
It doesn't hurt as much as previous tattoos have hurt. It's very odd, but you watch as the pen it is marking your skin. It is tattooing, and yeah, it's a fairly decent job. There's a couple of lines that are a little bit wonky here and there, but it looks fairly decent overall. It's a pretty good job tattoo.
Ooh, nice. Thank you so much.
He shrugs and goes, I was a bit concerned there, but I'm glad you enjoyed.
Wait, why were you concerned? It looks really good.
That's the first time I've tattooed anyone.
It was for me as well, and I mean, detail on this one. Look at the detail on this one, and he turns up, just put Ragnar's shoulder towards Varric. He's going, see?
They're just gonna look at Ragnar's and then look at his and go, I see your point.
Frankly, I think they're similar enough that I'm
And it's on my shoulder, so I can't see it.
Varric's also gonna pull out a mini pie and hand it to Ragnar. Here.
Oh god.
very honest. Good for yourself. I'm happy. It
Are you sure? I mean, I tried my best, but, well, this is what it became.
And your best is more than good.
Oh,
I'm proud of
wholesome content, y'all. Wholesome content. Oh.
Thank you, Dad.
Ragnar's
So.
gonna be like, what was that, sorry?
No, nothing. I said thank you, Ragnar.
Yeah, Ragnar's gonna go back to telling Tacco stories.
Doughnut. Tacco does not leave his new steed all night. He sits proudly astride his noble steed. Alrighty, so is there anything else anyone would like to do and or talk about over the next few hours before you venture back outside to the world?
Would it be very mean to, like, use the quill to tattoo all of Apristi's book titles on her back while she sleeps?
You can, you can try. I will have a message sent to the gnome and see what she says.
No, I'm not gonna be that mean. I'll wait for her tattoo for when she's back.
Alright, bear it in mind. Just pick the most embarrassing title.
Oh yeah, I have plenty of time to prepare a good title then.
Oh god.
Perfect.
Wait, is the list still here?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I found it.
Yep, it's pinned. You, by all means, invent new ones as well, because she's probably got a back catalogue we haven't even gone into yet. Graveside Love, A Necromancer's Lust, Tiefling Tongue Action, Horned and Horny, Pixie Penises and Their Hiding Places, Pointy-Eared and Over-Endowed, Part 1, Orcs, Thongs and Full Frontal Snogging, Dwarven Tripod, and of course her bestseller, Brokeback Sailor, also Furry Frolics, Fernando Freed. Oh man. So yeah, you guys have a chat, have a mingle, come outside to have a lick. The forest has started repairing itself. A lot of the creatures are out there casting various magics, and the treants and dryads and things seem to be reshaping their world back again. They're still big, like a big smell of burning, and a lot of the trees are still quite blackened, but they are upright again, and they're slowly rebuilding back their forest. You're greeted fairly amicably by most of the creatures. Some of them seem very wary of you, but most of them seem to recognise that you actually saved them from these terrible people who were trying to destroy their home. None of them like the look of Brakens or Tiamat as they walk through, though.
Wait, so are the demons with us?
Oh yeah, they follow you out.
Yeah, okay. Annabelle's gonna eye them from the corner of her eye and just ask, so, any of you pregnant yet?
That is not quite how this works. But we did have a very enjoyable night, thank you.
If you wish for it, I can always get a demon from one of the other worlds to serve as a surrogate.
That is fine. That's not really our area.
Hannah,
She's gonna turn to Svarik and raise an eyebrow.
seeing as you could use magic to make Arissa pregnant, couldn't you do the same on Brakens?
Brakens just shoots you a look. I will end you.
Well, I could, but I'm not sure how. He doesn't have a fetus. I could make one, but I would have to study their body. Since every demon has a little difference from each other, I would have to clone his body, then dissect that body, probably have an artificial insemination, put it in status, and then trying to see how it would actually grow. Would it be a few months? Would it be a few years? Then I would have to remove the penis and make a fake vagina. And she's gonna keep on running.
Brakens just puts his head and buries it very deep into Tiavat's shoulder. Why? Why me? Why?
Varric will go, you could forego all of those steps and just dissect this one.
Tiavat is glaring at you as well now, Varric.
I'm gonna go, hey, You owe me. I'm the one who saved his life.
Yes.
Wait,
And Tiavat says, yes, but that doesn't... Right, so I'm very grateful, but you saving a life does not mean it is then yours to take away.
I know, that's why I'm telling her to take it away.
Oh.
With that, he's going to start singing a song, just a random song that got stuck in his head.
Alright.
would
Okay.
you prefer a demon slave? I have a few of those in storage. They make
That
wonderful
could work.
sex toys, according to other creatures I've talked to.
I don't think if that's a good idea.
She's talking to the demons. You can impregnate her instead.
Bricken's just like raises an eyebrow at you, and Tiavat like nudges him in the ribs and is just like, "Oh, I've already got this guy. I don't need any other slaves." And then Bricken just shoots him a look. Tiavat.
Fine, I guess they'll remain in storage then. I really do need to get rid of them, but I don't know what to do with them.
Yard sale.
I mean, here's a crazy idea. You could free them and send them home, says Brickens. And yes, Varric, you do still have marshmallow in your pocket.
I'm going to eat the marshmallow from my pocket.
Well, I
Okay.
can't exactly give them away. They were a present from a cult. If I give them away, I'll lose some of the power I got from that cult. I can sell them, but I cannot give them away.
How
I
much?
don't know anyone who currently wants slaves.
How much do you want for them?
Well, it costs 1 soul or 2, but they're kind of rare nowadays, so around 5 souls each.
Tiavat may have 1 soul, but Brickens doesn't have any, so I guess they won't be able to pay for that price.
I would never surrender my own
It
soul.
doesn't have to be your own. You just
Brickens
need
looks
to
so
give
beautiful.
me.
I will think on it, Annabelle. I'm sure we've got plenty of unneeded souls.
Do try to make them not human. Humans are too boring. If you could make some of like him, she's gonna point at Averti. Now that would be interesting.
I mean, there's tiefling souls down in the Underrealm, sure.
Vithericius is going to slowly raise an eyebrow. Hello.
I mean, once I'm restored to my princehood, I could probably arrange something.
If
How?
you get me an angel one, well, now that would be something.
Believe me, if I had an angel soul, I would not be giving it up.
Yes, their father does tend to be a little ragey when you take a few of his children.
Rage. They rage when you take so much as a feather. Ha!
Wait, you mean these? And I show him the arrow with an angel feather.
And Annabelle's gonna take one from the portal that's inside a bubble. You mean this one? They're actually quite easy to get.
You constantly frustrate and vex me.
You're welcome. It is my honor and certainly my pleasure. And with that, he takes a little bow, and the cloak will below.
He rolls his eyes at you.
Also, look, I found a new cloak. And I'm going to show off the cloak that I got. Death Brother's corpse.
Ah, I see it had to shrink to fit you.
Yep.
At this point, because I will make us finish in the next 5 minutes because people need to go to bed, it is at this point that your conversation is interrupted, thankfully, by the dryad creature with the pink eyes who was watching you the other day. And he comes forwards towards you and greets all of you with a nod and says, "Well, we're not 100% sure what happened here, but word is that you played a great part in ending the strife. So, we have decided that we will allow you to use our magic pool. And it should take you anywhere you wish to go, as long as it is on your world, Mercer.
Wait, so no ships will be involved in us leaving?
Well, we don't have a ship, and neither do you.
Technically, we have one massive airship and the other one is rented.
They're not here, though, are they?
That is true. That
We'll
is an issue.
designate where we're taking.
You can choose, as long as you focus your mind, it will take you wherever you wish to go.
What if everyone thinks of different locations? Does that mean everyone will go to those separate locations?
It would very likely be those of you who thought of different locations would be torn apart. A leg may end up in one place, an eyeball in another. Those of you who remained intact would very likely lose your minds altogether.
So let's not do
Ooh,
that,
how
shall
fun.
we?
Wait, so you're asking me?
Say that again?
So you're asking me to think one thing and one thing only?
Yes.
Maybe we
Yes.
should pop him unconscious.
Pie. I mean, otherwise I'll be thinking about pie anyway. Or is pie a safe thing to think about because it's not a location?
I'm sure having something like pie at the back of your mind would not damage the spell too much, but focus on a location primarily.
Well, I guess we're on our way then.
So I will leave you guys. You're not at the pool yet. So they will arrange to take you there in the distant future. I will leave you guys on the question of where you'd like to go.
Let's see.
Hi.
Let me quickly pull up the map to see what places there are.
Well, if you were to think, hypothetically, if it was thinking of the airship with Wyatt on it, would it to that airship?
Hypothetically, probably yes.
That thing is moving. Do you really want to risk the delay and then miss it and fall to your death?
I was about to make an assumption about the world, and I was going to say, but the world's rotating, but like, I can't be sure of that.
Even if that were true, wouldn't that also be the issue of it moving and then?
That's why, surely, if it's fine with the rotating world, it would be rotating.
Fair. So we could visit my family, like solve murdering them finally.
Or we could actually try and save this world as we've been trying
Yeah,
to do for months.
So how exactly do you propose that if you don't know where?
Maybe we should just think of the angels. Maybe that will take us somewhere.
Yes, and then we'll end up in their realm. I don't know if you'd want that.
But they said that we
Well,
couldn't
it would
go
be
to
my
a realm that
opportunity
was
to
not
get
our
an
own,
angel
right?
soul.
What was that, Ragnar?
They said that we couldn't go to a realm that was not our own. Am I mistaken?
Oh, true. So angel would be an issue.
Curses.
But what if we were to think of an angel, we went directly to an angel in our realm? Because wouldn't our big unfriendly fellow who accompanies death, they're an angel, are they not?
Yes. Is it a good idea though?
Well,
Yes,
that's
we.
surely just a risk of thinking of it.
But we don't know where they are and who they're with.
Didn't we have one last feather together?
You mean one more stone? Yes, the one that we were looking for in the first place.
And where is that?
Well,
Because
We
we
still
found
haven't
the one
found it.
here.
sorry.
We found the one here. Where were we going for the last one? What's that? Weren't we going to Travis?
Well, I believe the one that was down where our friends is going to point at Tiavat and Brickens led us to. That stone didn't necessarily come here.
True. But we also don't know where it did go, and I don't think the shard counts as a location that we can think of.
I doubt it.
But we do know it used to be in Travis. If we go there, we can always follow a better trail, and then if we ended up somewhere else, it's much further away.
If we are going there, then I think the capital would be the best idea, right? Start with the biggest crowd of people. What was the place with the most people? I think you might know things about this place, right? Didn't you say that you have traveled a lot in Travis? And he's turning to the paladin there, the demon boy paladin, not the duck boy paladin.
He's going to look at Varric and go, well, if memory serves me, and from when we first entered the demon realm, if you remember, there was a rather large number of people gathering at the capital.
Oh, yes, we were there before. That's a while ago.
Not entirely certain if they're friendly.
Well, if not, we can just kill them all, and then they won't be an issue.
Just how many arrows do you have in that quiver of yours?
Well, if I combine it with this donut that I've so far been the one that caught it every time I've thrown it, I have an infinite amount of arrows. Or tridents to throw.
Or donut.
Or does it not work like that? I haven't tested that yet.
I'd suggest you test stuff before you make assumptions.
Okay, and with that, he's gonna pull the donut up, and then hang it over the trident and throw it.
Yeet.
Alright. D20 add your dex. Where are you throwing it?
Just I'm gonna step away from the party for a bit while I throw it. And
Okay.
then I'll just throw it towards a tree, trying to hit the tree.
Okie dokie.
So is it a trident attack then, or is it just dex plus the d20?
Are you throwing the javelin itself, or are you going to throw it from the donut?
I'm throwing the trident with the donut attached to it.
So you're going to have a hand on the donut. Is the last thing you touch the donut or the trident?
I'm gonna assume the donut.
Okay. If you throw it with the donut, then yeah, do a d20 and add your dex. So the trident's just there for the ride along, essentially.
Okay, so that would be a 24.
Okie dokie. Alrighty, so, and you're aiming at a tree thing, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Alright, so, you aim, flies through the air, see pink sparks, flicks round, starts coming back to you. The trident, again, is like spinning, a bit like the arrow would spin, so as opposed to the hammer, which rotates around, it's like a spear, sort of going round and round on itself. So it's not about to whack you around the face, it's just like twisting in midair around the donut.
It's not necessarily whacking me in the face, it's more like a drill bit.
Yes,
towards my face.
yeah, which is sort of scarier.
So it's going diggy diggy hole if it hits.
Yeah. So yeah, do an acrobatics to catch it.
Okay. Ooh. That's a 19 plus my dexterity makes 27.
Cool. Alrighty, so you managed to catch it, much to everyone's almost annoyance, anyone who wasn't able to catch it earlier. Dislodge the donut from the trident.
See, it worked.
That's nice.
And with that, I give Verti a smug smile, and I go, see, it was a good assumption. Some might even say the best assumption.
Vitharchus is going to shrug and go, as long as you can do that every...
Yes. Do you know who you're talking to? Everything I do.
Yes, but you've occasionally caused some interesting scenarios. And he's
Yeah, but-
just going to slowly raise a hand to point at Hannibal.
Everyone's gonna wave.
Hannibal is an interesting scenario.
That's a scarily accurate thing to mention. However, I did not know that I was doing that because, well, that happened during an earthquake. Or at least I assume it happened then. I'm not quite sure when she precisely appeared for the first time, but at least it scared me.
Annabelle's gonna keep on waving.
And on that happy note of Hannibal waving, I will leave you guys there, having a conversation about donut frisbees and where you're heading. So that brings us to the end of episode 57. Cool, blimey. And
Wow.
yeah, 57, man.
So we aiming for like 100 episodes here?
I don't know how much the story has left for 100 episodes. We will see what the Sunday party get up to and what you guys get up to. But originally I was going to say by November, but it depends on what you guys decide to do. So within the next 4 months, it'll be done.
So that's basically... Yeah.
By the new year, yeah, by the new year. And I, of course, am, already halfway through prepping campaign 2, so... Because, I don't need sleep, that's fine. Sleep is for the weak and the elderly. Alright, so I will turn the recording off at the end of episode 57. Thank you everyone for playing. I will talk to you very soon. Tatty bear to the recording in bed!
Tatty bear.
Tacco!